Now at Target 12, the investigators exclusive. More than 440 Rhode Island businesses received about $106 million in grants through the Federal Restaurant Revitalization Fund. But what about the more than 1,500 businesses that applied and received nothing?
The owners of Eddie's Diner in Cranston say they were told to expect tens of thousands of dollars in help, only to find out a few weeks ago they would receive nothing.
We get an email stating that the money's been depleted. Then I find out that there are businesses in Rhode Island, restaurants, and some of which are not restaurants, that received well over $1 million.
Target 12 investigator Tolly Taylor is here now with what went wrong.
For the family-owned Eddie's Diner, $31,000 in relief would have canceled out a third of their lost revenue from the past year. Instead, while 16 Rhode Island businesses received over $1 million in relief, they got nothing. Eddie Azevedo says in 2019, the family-owned diner was coming off its best year. Then the pandemic struck, and revenue plummeted 80% in the first month.
I told my wife, this is probably it. We're probably not going to survive this.
The couple says they had to lay off their 5 staff members in April 2020.
So I'm a cook, dishwasher, busboy, phone boy. My wife is handling every customer that walks through this place. I'm 48 years old, working 75 to 80 hours a week for an entire year. That's enough to put anybody over the edge.
The Restaurant Revitalization Fund gave 442 Rhode Island businesses roughly $106 million in grants over the past month. But that left more than 1,500 businesses that applied around the state with nothing. Even places like Eddie's Diner, which initially qualified for more than $31,000.
Then we're told help is on the way. Yeah? Where is it? Where's the help? You have so many businesses that received nothing and so few received all that money. How do you explain that?
Then, a few weeks ago, they were told the money was all gone. Azevedo says during the pandemic, the couple lost nearly $100,000.
You give millions of dollars to businesses that make millions of dollars. I don't make millions here.
Azevedo points to the dozen or so Rhode Island businesses that receive more than $1 million from the fund, some of which stretch the definition of restaurants, like bars and strip clubs.
Jack Reed, Sheldon Whitehouse, this is why you get paid. We need you now. We need you more than ever. Get in there, get the ball rolling, and get money to these businesses.
Coming up new at 6, we took Azevedo's question directly to Senators Jack Reed and Sheldon Whitehouse. With the Target 12 investigators, I'm Tolly Taylor, 12 News.
Now at 6, another Target 12 investigators exclusive. Hundreds of Rhode Island businesses received millions of dollars through the Federal Restaurant Revitalization Fund. But more than 1,000 businesses got nothing.
Now, one of those restaurant owners who got nothing is speaking out.
This was a revitalization program, not a sweepstakes, not a lottery. And some of these businesses in Rhode Island hit the lottery. And what are they going to do about it? We need our politicians more than ever.
Target 12 investigator Tolly Taylor brought this restaurant owner's dilemma to Rhode Island's U.S. senators. He joins us now with their response.
On the brink of going out of business, the couple who own Eddie's Diner in Cranston want to know what Rhode Island's federal delegation is going to do now that the Revitalization Fund is depleted.
I was scared. I thought this might be it for us.
Eddie Azevedo says he and his wife had to lay off 5 staff members in April 2020 after revenue cratered.
We lost 80% of revenue right off the bat the first month.
The couple applied for the Restaurant Revitalization Fund and qualified for more than $31,000 in relief. But then a few weeks ago, they learned they would get nothing. It turns out they weren't alone. 442 Rhode Island businesses received roughly $106 million from the fund. But more than 1,500 businesses around the state were denied. Azevedo tells Target 12, Rhode Island's federal delegation needs to act.
Jack Reed, Sheldon Whitehouse, this is why you get paid. We need you now. We need you more than ever. Get in there, get the ball rolling, and get money to these businesses.
Any reaction to that?
He's right. We're on it. And, you know, these businesses really went through a lot in COVID.
I was one of the original co-sponsors of the Restaurant Relief Fund, which was the basis of the program that we passed. I think the challenge now is to see if we can generate additional funds.
Both senators argued that if legislative directives were followed, women, veteran, and minority-owned businesses would have received more money. Instead, they claim businesses that stretch the definition of restaurants, like strip clubs, received millions of dollars because Republican litigation stopped those groups from getting priority funding.
Unfortunately, business interests sued, and the courts said that that language would not be appropriate.
But both senators remain optimistic that more money is on the way. White House says that while the original fund was $28 billion nationally, there's bipartisan legislation currently in the works with another $60 billion for restaurants across the country.
There's a very strong chance of getting this to be something that we can pass.
The Small Business Association is holding on to applications for those businesses that did not qualify for grants. Nearly $50 billion in requests from restaurants nationally went unfulfilled in the initial round of funding. With the Target 12 investigators, I'm Tolly Taylor, 12 News.